alimona na chimbi chinama
coming out of the earth.
chale fuma muchalo
They had two horns like a lamb.
chali kwenda masengo ya bili kwa mwana wa mpanga.
Great Controversy 441 and 442, commenting on it.
Great Controversy 441 na 442 kwamba jeji.
What nation of the New World was in 1798 rising into power?
Chisi hii Egyptia jakanyamuga mwaka wa 1798 munguzo.
One nation and only one
Chisi jomwe buyo
meets the specifications of this prophecy.
chojererwa ehihambwa wawa mujishishimi.
It points unmistakably to the United States of America.
Titonde yabo mujisi jomwe wakutaipya ejisi cha Amerika.
It has two horns like a lamb.
Chiri jisi imeja obilo mbuli mwana mbelele.
The lamb-like horns indicate youth,
Pona kuba meja mbuli imbelele jamba kuba kukubusi.
innocence,
Agumulakalema
and gentleness,
alimu akuba kabo tukuchenjera.
fitly representing the character of the United States.
Ejo jalo chizuziki hikwa imibo ya United States na imibo ya America.
When presented to the prophet as coming up in 1798.
Kwera na jishishimi erijisi jakatalika mu 1798.
Broad foundation of civil and religious liberty,
Eji jakalpa kuti bantu bapalira alimwi abakunyika batapalira bonse bakuyelela baba freedom.
the Constitution guarantees the people a self-government, providing that representatives elected by the government, let me repeat that, and the Constitution guarantees to the people
Kabili constitution yabo yo bapanga ba America yena ipelesha sana amaka ku bantu.
the right to self-government,
Ama insambu shaku buteko.
providing that representatives elected by the popular vote
Ukwebati abakwingira fe muma office ya buteko bafune bavoterwa na abantu abengi.
shall enact and administer the laws.
Abo bena ebengapanga mafunde bali abantu abengi bavotera.
Freedom of religious faith
Ero kabiri nobuntungwa bwa mipepele
was also granted.
ubuna bo bwali perwa na ba America.
Every man being permitted to worship God according to the dictates of his conscience.
Bonse n'abaperwa ensambu shakupepaleso kulingana n'abenefe balefwaya.
And then it concludes by saying, these principles are the secrets of its power and prosperity.
Ero kabiri ifi babikire emwabe nkama yamaka yaba America nokuya kuntanshi kwabo.
So that gives us the rise of democracy.
Apanomba chatupela efyo buntungwa bwayimine.
Of course, which has been copied all over the world.
Ifi n'abakopesha kofene byalo byonse.
But is that the end?
Hena kumane minobu.
Will that exist after the second coming?
Hena balatolera ba America kuba bobu paka kusika kubola kwa Yesu kwa
Same
bili.
chapter of Revelation 13.
Mona muri muji ubunu wa chapter 13.
See yet another situation where another set of government is rising.
Wabona kuti bulinyi gaibi alimwi na mube bwa kusika kwa tuna government ibi yakaika kunyamuka.
The rise of dictatorship.
Kunyamuka kuyamba kusimiki abantu kulera abantu kubuka simiki ya.
We have seen the rise of democracy.
Na tumono kuima kwa democracy.
It was lamb-like.
Kwali kwa kumoneka ngoma na wambanga.
The rise of dictatorship.
Ngoma chinama.
Revelation 13 verse 11.
Ukusokolola 13 kuberenga pa 11 kuya kuntanshi.
The other part I left.
Chikomo chimbi cha chishala.
And he spake like a dragon.
Ero kabiri chinama chalilanda
And he
ngetwango.
exercised all the power of the first beast.
Ero kabiri chinama chali misango yonse iyo chinama chakubalira
And
po
he causes the
chachire.
earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast.
Ukulenga bosa bekala chalo ukupepe chinama chakubalira po.
The beast was like a lamb,
Ichi chinama chale moneka ngempanga.
yet he speaks like a dragon.
Nomba mumilandile alelanda ngetwango.
Well, a democratic government changes to to speak like the devil.
kabiri nomba buli obutengo bwa buntungwa bwamba okulalanda nomba nga Satana,
And forcing people to do what they don't want.
n'okupatikisha abantu ku kiteefe tabalefwaya.
I'm reading Testimony Volume 5, page 451.
Twalaberenga Testimonies Volume 5 apa kuberenga pa 451 paragraph 1.
When Protestantism shall stretch her hands across the gulf,
nga kyakwe bati balya abatalwikeko ku mipepere ya kikatolika balatambulula amaboko yaabo
to grasp the hand of the Roman power,
ukuyayikata ku maka y'Abaroma nangula bakatolika,
when he shall reach over the abyss to grasp hands with the spiritualism,
nga kyakwe bati nomba byampana pamo okubombera pamo mukupepa emipashi,
when under the influence of the threefold union,
ero kabiri pakati ka kimfulunganya nangula okwampana kwa amayunioni atatu,
our country shall repudiate every principle of its constitution.
kabiri kyalo kyesu nomba naye ayine constitution yali bwino yonse yalachinja,
The constitution has a Protestant and Republican government,
kabiri iyi constitution ilimo yaba ababa Protestant kabiri na Republicans,
and shall make provision for the propagation of purple falsehood and delusions,
ero bakapanga nomba okweba tukwise emipepere yabufine fyakubepa.
then we may know that the time has come for the marvelous working of Satan.
Nomba tufule twayishiba okweba ti ishitani kalamba nombe yaku iyo Satana alebomba naifika.
So we are looking at the transition from democracy to dictatorship.
Tuyanda kubona bulelo mbobwenda kuzwa ku democracy na akuba anguzu ya kuliyambirira tobeni akuba kuchindija kuti kutusiniki yabo kuchita chotayandi.
We see that the laws that govern democracy, Protestantism, Republicanism will be repealed or will be edited.
Ono twabona kuti imilao iliko kwa America suno ile la Republicans ama Protestants yonse milao bayakuyiguha babike milao ipya.
So we have to see this as a sign of the working of the devil.
Twele kuchibona mbuli chitondeyo ija kubereka kwa Satani.
Well, we just want to ask a question which we don't usually ask ourselves.
Tuyanda kuli buya mibuyo tobeni na mubuyo ngotutajibuyi.
We just wonder
Tuyanda kutugambwa buya
how irreligious men and women,
abo bantu ibapayila basankwa abamagaitu.
irreligious means they are not religious.
Baya bantu batapayili basankwa abamagaitu.
All of a sudden,
Mujindi bojihoto
they become so interested in religion so much that they start forcing people, making laws about their worship.
banjira abantu batakali kupayira banjira mukupayira abwambira abantu kubasinikiya kuti akubapamirawo ya kuti wonse unayanda toyandiwere kupayira kabuli gaindi abo bantu tibali kupayira.
How a church that has declared itself a secular state starts suddenly making laws about religion.
Kuona ichikombero chali pakuti chilinelezwe chatalika kubika milawo no ya mipayiro.
The secret is one.
Ichiyubidawa chomwebyo
Economy
ifya economy mukwa ifya pachalo ifya makwevo
is a driving force.
Echilesha enamtekenya.
The West will fear losing their economies.
America nangula baneso aba ku West uku bena bala batabalefwaya baluse indalama shabo nangula economy yabo ko bationa ike.
So they will be drawn in the trap of the devil here.
So emukutira nomba bakaponena muchiteyo chakwachiwapa.
Be manipulated into religion in such a way.
Bakabachinja nokubabika mufya mapepo.
I'm reading Revelation 13 verse 16 to 18.
Twalaberenga pabusokolola 13:16 kufika ku 18.
And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor,
Alilenga abaiche abakulu abakankala n'enchushi abakakwa n'abashakakwa
to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
ukupokerera ululembo mukuboko kwabo kwabukulyo nangula pampu mishabo.
And that no man buy or sell save he that had the mark.
akuti nata kuli wala shitano okushitisha kano fyoyo ukwete ululwembo lwa kiswango unyina usambala agula chitaoyo uchisijando ja munyama.
We are dealing with a part which we are wondering why people who do not care about God all of a sudden come into religion.
Tulelolesha pachipande chimwe chakwe vati abantu avashipepa nomba vena vafoya shani fya mapepo mukashita fya kanono vava interested mu fya kupepa.
We begin also to wonder why religion is connected to buying and selling.
Ero nomba kabiri twayamba okusakamana n'okupapa nomba amapepo yabashani yampa na shani pamo kukushita n'okushitisha.
Then we should believe that they are interested because of that very buying and selling, which is economy.
So kokuti aba bantu kulina chibicho bayandaula bo kusambala agula ejo chitwa ati economy.
Not that they care about God.
Takuli kutimbiza balandi hamaningireza pepe.
So the mark of the beast will be formed not because people like God, it is because of economy.
Kokuti jando ja munyama jiaguba takuli kuti kapola kuti bantu balandi hamaningi kupaira. Pesi balandi hamaningi magwebo.
And down where we are going in Revelation 18, we shall see that big people, the merchants of this world, will invest in this law.
Ona twajana kuti abantu basambala bajisima shop mapati bonse bayakunjira omu muri cheji chintu.
Timely Greeting Volume 2, number 17.
Ngatwabelenga Timely Greeting Volume 2, number 17.
And this is page 11, paragraph 3 to 5.
Elo pa page 11, paragraph 3 kufika ku 5.
This power, you see, is to control the world markets too.
Ayama keyo mulemo na yalino okukontolola market nangulo kwa kushitishisha ichalo chonse.
So you can see economy playing a big role here.
Elo ngamwamona nomba economy hapa nangule cha makwebo efile bombo mulimo ukulu hapa.
1 TG number 41, page 19.
1 TG 41, page 19.
From these scriptures, it is seen that the current events brought about
ukufuma kuli aya malembo na chimoneko bati fifile chitika muchalo ilelo
by the two opposing blocks,
kuli aba bantu babiri abalembo shanya
east and west,
ababa kukabanga ero kufutina bakumasamba
are not going to work
tafya bombe na kajya
according to human planning.
ukulingana na matontonkanyo ya muntu
That the plans made by confederation.
ukwe ayama tontonkanyo yo bapangile aya kuikatana pamo.
So you can see already that there are two blocks.
Ngamabona kuti kuli hipanya obilo na kuli magrupu abantu obilo.
So one of the reasons to form this religious dogma or law,
Toba yanda kubika oyu mulawo wakupaila
as we are saying, it is about economy.
Awachiliko kwelana mbotu amba kunyina chipi bachitila kamboka makwebo kusambala.
I think we are already living in a time when the world is divided into two main blocks.
Ono twakala mujindi nyinga choya bani higwa muhipani hobilo.
This block will lead to a conflict.
Pona hobilo hintu yobapanga wakati ilatalika igulwana.
Because one block is feeling threatened.
Kambo bamwiba wakuti balagongwa.
So much that it has to do something about it.
Mubuti wakuti vanda kuti welele kuchitako chimwi chintu.
And it will actually organize it is rich men.
Elo kabiri nabo bambya wabaleno omweso bakabunganya bakankala babo.
To do something about it.
Ukweba tibachitepo chimo.
Which Revelation 18 is revealing.
Icho Revelation 18 chilera ndapo.
I'm reading Revelation 18 verse 9.
Twalalo lekesha pali ukusokolola chapter 18 apa kubelenga pa 9.
And the kings of the earth
Nefu mushachalo
who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her
elo aba pangile ubulalelale nokwikala bwino nankwe
shall bewail her.
elo kabiri bakamupepa
Bewail.
bakalila
and lament for her
ero kabiri bakalira bakamuliririrako
when they shall see the smoke of her burning.
ero bakamona uchushi chakupya kwakwe.
Well, it is commenting on the destruction of Babylon, the image of the beast.
Awa bamba buti bajamba kunyonyona kwa Babylon.
When it shall be removed from stage by the 10 horns.
Elo noitika kuhikwe muno munyiga kubere hameja alya alikumi.
Someone will cry.
Umwi uyagulira.
Now let's hear what he's talking about in his wailing.
Atumwe chojambwa awa.
Verse 11-14.
Verse 11 kusika ku 14.
And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her.
Ero kabiri na bale bonse bwale panga kwa makwebo nankwe bakalira nokumulirira.
For no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
Bantakuli na nguumo nomba ule shita makwebo yabo.
So you can see that big billionaires in the world will invest in this law.
Mwabona buti awa abantu banji bapati bajisimali manji bagabikamo mali omu.
When Babylon, the great system, will be dismantled, they will cry like that.
Ya Babyloni muchacho bakapanga ja Babyloni najiga pasamuke bonse bayagulira bagabikamo mali.
They will cry for their business which has made a serious loss.
Bayagulira kamboka kutima kwebo abo apanga loss inati bapanga profit pay.
They have invested in all the apps that run the system.
Bali bikamu indalama muma app yonsa yala ninga umuishira yabo iliye babombera.
That's why they are crying like that.
Ichi echo kaleli lila.
Verse 15.
Verse 15.
The merchants of these things which were made rich by her
abapangirwe abamakwego abalenge abali abakankala mulando wa uyu mwana kashi Babyloni
shall stand far off
bakemirina akatalamukira
for fear of her torment.
Ukutina ukukandwa kwakwe.
Verse 23.
Verse 23.
And the light of the candle shall shine no more.
Kabiri no lubuto lwakendo talwakasanike na kabiri.
And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more.
Kabiri ishiwi lyakwana bwinga na shibwinga talyako ufike na kabiri.
For thy merchants were the great men of the earth.
Bantu balebo wale ababale ale pangana wa makwebo bali bakankala ba muchalo.
For by thy sorcerers were all nations deceived.
Bantu kupitila mu buloshi wabo ichalo chonse chali bepwa.
Babylon the Great is a sorcerer.
Uyu Babyloni mukalamba futi panshita imohine nindoshi.
A witch.
Nindoshi anakashi.
Bewitching the whole world
Ukulowe chalo chonse
into her system.
kwe batu bajoine uyu mubera wakwe.
Okay, so the merchants of the world, who are they?
Nomba ababale panga makwebo no uyu mwana kashi nani?
2 TG number 18
Twalabelenga 2TG number 18
and page 26 to 27.
page 26 na 27.
After quoting Revelation 18 verse 21-24,
Ero bapuisha vyo kukotinga ubusokololo 18, 21 na 24.
it goes on to say,
Yato alilila komenti.
the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand far off.
Ati bali abale panga makwebo nankwe abalengero kwe bati babe abakankala mulando wa uyu mwana kashibake eminina akatalamukira.
We see that this system of government is set up for no other purpose than to make its adherents rich in the name of religion.
Era nomba mwatu amono kwe bati uyu mubera wabuteko taulebera ko busuma bwa bantu bulebera ko fifa ko bati abene bayipanga bakankala kupitira mu fyama pepo.
Then we should believe what we said before.
Ero kabiri nishitufule twasumina no kuchetegerepo twachiranda
The
bakubala.
mark of the beast will not be formed because they want or they love God. No.
Kwamba kuti ijando ja munyama tachigavi akamboka kuti bayandaleza pepe.
There is so money in it.
Babona mali mukupaira.
Because if you control a system and you invest in it,
Na mwabika mu chintu chikotolola hintu munyiga
then you will make money.
mwakupanga imali.
They were not driven by religion or the love of God. No.
Aba bantu tabapangi kupaira obwati kambo bayanda kupaira pepe.
Okay, it goes on.
Yatolerera.
If our hearts are set on wealthy,
nga chakwebati mitima yesu iminine pachuma.
If our love for money becomes greater than our love to help set up the kingdom,
nga chakwebati fwe twatemwisha olupia ukuchira okutemwisha okubikwa kwa bufumu,
then there is no hope.
lero kabiri nishe mukutira tapali isubiro.
Why?
Mlandu wanshi.
For such shall find themselves magnetically drawn into Babylon.
Bantu abalingefyo bakasangwa shena bekatwanga fyakachera bekatwa kuli magneti mu Babylon.
So the image of the beast organization is a magnet that draws all the people who love money.
Kobuti jando cha munyama chili mbuli magneti iyita abantu bonse abo bayandihisha mali bwindaleza
More than the kingdom.
abo bayandihisha mali bwinda bwami bwaleza.
We must remember that the love of money is the root of all evil.
Twele kuiba kuti buyandihisha mali mwanda wa chinyonyono
It
jonse.
is easier for a camel to go through the needle eye than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom.
Chintu ichanguka kamewo chiname chikulu kupita muliso lya nyereti ukuchiro mukankalo kuingira mu bufumu.
Listen to this now.
Amuona.
But sad to say,
Nomba chabulando okulanda ati.
in spite of this solemn warning,
Nangula kuingabo ubusoko bonse.
we see even the most informed in the things of God fall victims to such filthy lucre.
Bonse bena kwasango kwa batina balabe n'abayishi bafye bwino ekyakwalesa nabo bene baponena mu mudi chichiteyo kyakwachiwa.
Let us watch our feet, our steps,
Atulanganye tulibone mbotukala no tukalabuti.
so that we are not magnetically drawn into this system.
Ukutegwa tutaka chembia kunjira mu system A.
We can easily see that the world divisions in blocks are all economic provisions for amassing wealth.
Bonse abagwandanya kwa chisi chino muhibanga hobiro chitonde yabo kuti bonse bobilo bandiha maningi mali basi meanda mali bonse.
It's not that they want to usher peace, no.
Tabuli kuti ndiza banda kuleta lumu pepe tutachembwi.
No matter it is BRICS,
Unaboloka buli baba benzuma ba BRICS,
NATO,
olonamba NATO,
EU,
olonamba EU,
OAU,
bonsa wa AOU,
SADC,
bonse ba sadiki,
ECOWAS,
bonse ba ECOWAS,
UN,
bonse ba UN,
name them all.
ngatwabamba bonse.
These are all milk cows for the rich people.
Aba bonse bayandaula bo mali banda kuti baba lubono waniga ino.
Nearly all major events at the present time are therefore programmed to usher in the image of the beast
Lero
organization.
kyonse fifire chitika tonso tutubungwe pakuleteresha echo balefu okulenda lulembo lwa kiswango.
So this is politics.
So makwamona mkwaya afika nsa
We
vya
should be
chalo.
interested in our own politics.
Na ifwe bene tufule twaloletesha sana mufika nsa fyesu na
We should
ifwe.
also work to usher in the kingdom of
Na
God.
ifwe tufule twabombesha okubika ko bufumu bwa
While
kwaleza.
they are busy trying to bring themselves in a situation to make money,
Ilio bena baleileta pamo kwe batu bakwate ko olupia.
we should be interested in the kingdom.
Ifwe tufule twakabila mukuleta ubufumu.
To sigh and cry the more,
Ukulila n'okuteta elo chichiwile chachiramu elo fyonse file
so
chitika.
that the city is completed.
Bakwe bati kukakatikwa kwa ba 144,000 kupwe.
Right now, while the world is advertising for their part, God is advertising for positions on the 144,000.
Ba aje chino chindi inyiga balo balandaula kuti balibike bali bunge ama positions abo baloleza upanga ma position na hibela yaba 144,000.
144,000. This is a very wonderful group. It is the cabinet of the kingdom.
Pona a group ya 144,000 njo church body na njo group ya leza inikulanganya abantu mu ya kingdom.
Let us not miss.
Eji tutajali no bantu baleza.
Okay, so let's move forward.
Atunke gumbere.
There is something we want to read here.
Kuli hoti yanda gubala awa.
We are still in Revelation 13.
Tuchiri muri Revelation 13.
I'm reading verse 13 to 14.
tulebelenga verse 13 to 14
And
buku limodi neli
he
akusokololo.
does great wonders so that he makes fire come down from heaven.
Alipanga nefipapwa ifikulu ichakuti alipanga n'omuliro okupona okufuma ku mulu
In the sight of men.
pamenso y'abantu balemonako
And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth
n'okubabeepa bonse ababaikala pakyalo
by the means of these miracles,
bali beepa okupitira mu fipapwa efyo
which
apangire
had the power to do in the sight of the beast.
ikyo ekyo akwete okupanga ku ntanshi ya
Saying
ikikinama
to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image the beast.
okutiira kuli beena bali abeekala panshi ya kyalo kwe bati beena bapange uchimpashanya kya kiswango.
Well, miracles will be used to organize for the image of the beast.
Kobuti miracles na hitondeho ipatipati inikupangwa butegwa bapange jando ja munyama jibego.
And these miracles are going to be performed by a he.
Pona higambya aho batiga pange muntu musankwa uni kuhijita.
And we wonder who.
Onotatu inanguni.
I'm sorry to disturb your listening and your concentration. We just want to request the professional teachers, if you can just come behind here. Those that we selected in the morning, please kindly just follow up behind here. Thank you.
We want to identify the one doing the miracles. Is it the United States of America government at what White House, or is it a person or a group of people?
Twefo okumona ule pange efipapwa efi ni nani usheni ba Amerika bantu nangula muntu fye umo.
Because these miracles will be used to form the mark of the beast organization.
Bantu ifipapwa efikalengo kwe bantu abantu bapange urulembo lwa kiswango nangula okupepa kwa kiswango.
Rather than quoting from the Bible.
Ababena tabakulabelenga mu kipingo.
Revelation 19:20.
Revelation 19:20.
And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet who had wrought the miracles before him.
Ati chikinama kyali sendwa kuli wena nakasesema uwabufi uyo alepanga efipapwa abantu kuntanshi yakwe.
Okay, so there is a false prophet now.
Kobutona watu ajana kuti kuli mushishimi mubeji.
Who is identified in the making of these miracles.
Twajana kuti oyu ngundi kupanga ehya hintu higambya.
Let's search again further to find out who this false prophet
Atu
is.
yandaule ino mushishimi mubeji nguni.
I'm reading tract 12, page 26.
Twalabelenga tract 12 papa kubelenga 26.
In paragraph 1.
Paragraph 1.
The power that is represented by the two-horned beast will identify itself with the false prophet.
Kabili amaka ayo kwete ichichi na mechi kwete nsengo shibili nangula Amerika baka ikwatila bene kasesema wabo uwabo fi.
For together they are cast alive into the lake of fire.
Bantu bonse babili Amerika ne chichi nama na viposwa mu mulilo.
From this it is plain to see that the wonders which the beast does
Apanomba chamo nekopa butatutu kwe bati ifipapwa efe chichi nama chilepanga
and by which he deceives them that dwell on the earth
ero kabili ukutitira muri ifipapwa balebepa nabekala chalo
are wrought by the false prophet.
Fipapwa efilepangwa na kasesema wabo fi.
Clearly then,
Upambilibili fie
the beast is civil authority
ichinama amateo chikwete aya kuchalo
combined with the prophet's supernatural power
ukubika pamona makaya ibela ya kwa kasesema wabufi
points to a union of beast and prophet.
elo nomba kwa isabo kubombela pamo ichinama Amerika na kasesema
dash an affiliation of state and church representatives.
apanomba kwa mpana pamo ukwa chialo ne chilongani no kubombela pamo.
So whatever the false prophet is representing,
Onse mushishimi mubeji na wimini nazi.
the reading here is attaching it to an affiliation of state and church representatives.
Watu ambiwa kuti kuba bwantu omwe kwa chikombelo anyiga kuberekera antu omwe.
So while we still watch for a singular man to do the miracles,
Na tuchilindira kuti muntu omwe apange higambya
a set that fulfills prophecy is already in place.
Hiya hitika zuzi kwe chishinshimi babikagale ko hili halo hizuzikia
Church representatives,
ya boba imini na ichigombero
a council of church leaders
yo kanso na gabunga kabasololi bahigombero
is equated to the false prophet here in this region.
ona agabungwa bayakuberekera nto omwe amushishimi mubeji.
And also we should expect that these miracles are done by or derived by the devil.
Ero kabiri tufure twamuno ko bati fifi papwa fire chitika kabiri fire bombwa uli kunuma ya makayonse nichiwa.
And the work of a prophet is to interpret those things.
Ero kabiri nchito ya kwaka sesema kulondolola ififintu.
Okay, let me read something in that line.
Na tuberenge mushira imo ine fimo.
I'm reading Maranatha 176.
Twalaberenga muri Maranatha 176.
As men depart further and further from God,
Ili abantu bataluka akatalamukira okufuma kuli lesa.
Satan is permitted to have power over the children of disobedience.
Ero kabiri satana apelwa amaka ngula asubinishiwa ukweba chakwata amaka pali bali abantu abakana lesa.
He has destruction among them.
Ero alabika ukona ula pakati kabo.
There is calamity by land and by sea.
Kuyama afya muchalo na pamimana.
Property and life are destroyed by fire and the flood.
Fyonse fintu file onaika kumeshi kumulilo file onaika.
Satan resolves to charge this upon those who refuse to bow down to the idol which he has set up.
Nomba satana kuyama afya yafuta pachalo akambo kweba abantu kweba ti ababe nabakeno kupepe firubi ababe ne balengero kweba tukuba mafya.
While men are looking at climate change,
Elo abantu balelo leshamu kuchinja kwa chalo
and charge these things to nature, that they are caused by nature,
nokulanda okweba ti awo kukukana kwate ukukwate chilalali bikwakaba sana ti awe tufifile fyo kuba ni nature.
the devil is working some intelligence to set on their mind that, well, if we agree to believe in his Sabbath,
Elo kabiri kanshi ififyonze turemona mafya pachalo nichiwafya ulesho kuti uno tusolovero twakwe kweba ti ifwenga twasumina mwisa batali yabo mwine
then these things may be abated.
Mukutile fifintu nomba fyala fumishiwako kaye ule fileta futi.
Look at it.
Tiro lesheni kwa.
His agents.
Aba bomfi bakwe, abe minishi bakwe.
Look at it, it is in plural. His agents.
Mulolekeshe chili mubwingi. Aba bomfi bakwe.
Point to Seventh-day Adventists as the cause of the trouble.
Ela no kusonta kuli bakalolela nangula ba SDA panshita ya machushi.
They say,
Elo bakati.
these people stand out in defiance of law.
Aba bantu ba SDA bayiminina ukweba ti baleto ba ifunde.
They say,
Batila.
they discredit Sunday.
Kubena tabale fwaye chani pepele ya pasande.
Were they compelled to obey the law
Nga chakweba tibapango kweba tibakonke ifunde.
for Sunday observance?
Kweba tibandi okukonka ubushiku bwako pepo bwa pasande.
There would be a cessation of these terrible judgments.
Kwala amafya ya kulunga chakweba tabantu tabapepe kwala abukubakanda.
So the purpose for these miracles to be worked by the devil and interpreted by his agents
Icho Satani chaberegela higambya ehi eho hitika yubululwe kumuntu wakwe oyo mushishimi mubeji
is to campaign for the formation of the world power, which we usually know as the mark of the beast.
kukampena bokwita abantu kuti babola ntomwe kutekwa babole kabapaira jando jamunyama.
And today we are seeing a lot of meetings,
Onosunu tulabona kuswangana kunjima ningi
workshops
workshop balapanga
about climate change.
balapanga kutoku wa jisi jachichagwa bakuchincha mujisi.
The world is drawn away from God to look at nature, that nature is angry.
Abantu bazwagulireza mukupairaleza baunka bokutaha jisi janyema wana nature ya nyema.
And then we need to please nature.
Onawa tuele kuti tubambe gabo tunecha na jisi tujipe kuti chikomane.
That is where we are going.
Ogu kotuya.
And to please nature, they will have to make these laws.
Pona kute gwanyiga imwe gabo tuna necha ikomane na bube gwanyiga bube gabo tu. Balile kubikamilao.
So that these fires, these floods may cease.
Komuti mafrazi mililo amapezo onsabola ma earthquake amane.
This is the world we are approaching to.
The church si kotunka.
And we are already seeing these things starting.
Twakayibona ite ilachitika.
We should not be distracted from our work.
Tatwelele kuchengwa kuhigwa kunchito Yesu.
We should campaign for the kingdom.
So twele kukampena kutegwa abantu bauke kubwami.
Satan puts his interpretation upon events.
Satana aleviko kontrola kwakwe mufifisire chitika.
And the leading men think as they would have them.
Ero kabiri na bena bali abantu abale tungulula bale ufwepo Satana alelondolola.
That the calamities which fill the land are a result of Sunday breaking.
Ukweba ati ichalengo ukweba tipachalo kuba amachushi ya musango oyo mwandu wakutoba ubushiku bwa Sunday.
So that is where we are going.
Uku eko tuleya.
So what we are seeing as starting in a humble way,
chotubona ichitaliga mulumuno na munzira iliga botu ya bubombe
where it is driving to.
Ukotunka kumbele koimbo chitiga ambwe.
So we are on the bridge.
Ono tulibo munsi
from commuting from democracy to dictatorship.
Tuzwabo bobo ko tutisibulambirira tobeni ngatwachita ho tuyanda abunka kuchejo ibulelo yuko kutusinikia kuchita cho tutayandi.
Even the world organizations that we see as League of Nations, United Nations will be tuned to that.
Wonsa abatu bona ba United Nations, ba League of Nations, ba AU wonse bayakulogeramo.
2TG number 17.
2TG number 17.
Page 10.
Page 10.
Paragraph 3.
Paragraph 3.
Here you see that the unification of the world engendered to bring peace and harmony out of the present chaos. Will instead bring an even greater time of trouble. And why? Because though the beast may bring communism and the capitalism to mutual agreement,
nangula baliaba temwa wina Kristo na bashiteme no wina Kristo nangula uchichina machafileta pamo
and cause them to bow down to the image of the beast.
Noku balengo kweba tibabebe ichiswango.
Yet those whose names are written in the Lamb's book of life will never comply.
Lelo baliaba lembwa mwibuku lya mwana wa pange lya mweyo bena tabakasumine.
From this you see that the whole plan is directed by a supernatural power whose aim is to boycott the people of God. They shall nevertheless be delivered. And we said before, we should not worry about bad things in the world. Our central work is to look for the kingdom which is about to be. God is going to take care of those. We should just work to survive the judgment of the living. 2TG number 41.
2TG number 41.
And I'm reading page 18, 19.
18 and 19.
Does it not look to you as though the world is getting ready? For a church and a state government?
nechilongalino fibombere pamo n'obuteeko.
I have repeatedly pointed out that the world is unwittingly making a mighty effort to settle the scarlet-colored beast.
Emukutira nalirandako n'okubwedesha okweba nti ikyalo kyena kiri kyekyayipekana ero kyabombesha okweba nti baleete ekiri ekinama n'omba ekiri mu busokololo chapter 17.
And to mount there on Babylon the Great.
N'okubiika mpona maayo oyu Babylon mukalamba.
We are headed for the church and the state government which Babylon the Great symbolizes.
Ukutuleera nomba tuleera kunshiteera kweba nti kirongano n'ekyalo kibombere pamo ife tukalakontorolwa n'oyu mwana kashi Babylon.
And when the war gets hot again, Babylon may replace the United Nations thereafter. We should be very interested in this place. When the war gets hot again, meaning there was a Second World War, followed by a Cold War. Then it gets hot again. When it gets hot, that is World War III, which is starting right now. The preliminary parts of it are starting, emerging here and there. The confirmation is that when the war gets hot again, then the world government will be formed. In short, let's look at the devil again. So he comes to the politicians
Satana aleisa kuli ba politician
that they should work for unity and peace.
Bafile babombela pakwikatana n'omutende.
To the merchant,
kuli bali abamakwebo
that he should invest in this peace.
To
the Christian, that your religion is at stake. Join in it. Then miracles, not the Bible, will convince the heathen. We invest in it. So the driver here is the devil. What about us? Okay, I'm reading Testimony Volume 5, page 452. Those who have been warned of the events before them are not to sit in calm expectation of the coming storm, comforting themselves that the Lord will shelter his faithful ones in the day of trouble. While men are sleeping, Satan is actively arranging matters. The Sunday movement is now making its way in darkness. The leaders are concealing the true issue. And many who unite in the movement do not themselves see whither the undercurrent is tending.
While
the pieces that make the world government are being put in place, in a coming way, You are not told where they are going.
imwe tamweberweko baleya.
So this is revealing also that even those who are forming it, they don't know where it is
Na
going.
bali abeene abali ekipanga ng'effe twakiberenga nabo beene tabeesibeko kireya.
So the devil is deceiving every level.
Kokuti Sataani ulaje nga akusena bonse ali bantu.
This is terrible.
Eki kintu kibi maningi.
For us,
Kuli this way,
we are told that we should not sit quietly.
ifwe n'abatwebe okweba ati tatufiire okwikala ffe
We have
tondolo.
to do our work which we are given right now, sighing and crying.
Tufire twabomba omulimo weso twapeerwa leero akulira n'okuteta.
That is the major preparation
Ikyo ekikalambe ekyakuyipekanya.
to survive this situation.
Bakweba ati ifwe tupusuke kuli ifi fyonse.
So don't expect that the enforcement of these things will be after the slaughter of Ezekiel 9.
Mwimona bwati ifi fintu fikirina okubako ni Ezekiel 9 naipita.
They start here.
Fireya mbali be Ezekiel 9 tailabako.
These pieces start here.
Otuntu pimfya tuleyamba nombali ine ino
And
inesta.
they will bring a time of trouble before we go to the kingdom.
Bakaleta nani nshita ya machushi libe tatulaya kubufumu.
When these pieces are being assembled, you have to rise up to oppose.
Ero kabiri ututu pimfyero batubika pamo tufire twayima ifwe n'okukana.
And you cannot oppose something you don't know
Ero
well.
tetimukane ekintu ekyo tamwishibe buno
So
bwino.
pray and study
Pepeni n'okuberenga.
so that we understand.
Bakweba ati ifwe tufuikishe.
Not knowing our time where it is.
N'okukana ishibe nshita Yesu katuishi kushera na minutes
We
yanga.
can talk the whole world. Okay, 25 minutes.
Tushereko fena ama minutes 25.
I'm asking a very serious question here.
Twalai kusha ili kusho ilikankara sana.
In this confusion of putting pieces together
Muri uku muchichi mfurunganye chakubika utupimfya pamo.
in preparation for the new world order,
Ukupipekanya ubikalo nangula umyendele ya charo.
and the church has not yet passed through the slaughter of Ezekiel
Pero
9.
kabili chilongani noni shita chilapita muri Ezekiel chapter 9.
That church where we belong to,
Chiliya chilongani chesweko twaba.
how will it fare in
Nomba
this
jena
church?
chilongani chesi chala abashani muri ifi.
Ezekiel 8,
Ezekiel chapter 8.
verse 8 and 9.
Pa verse 8 na 9.
Then said he unto me,
Ero kabili atire kuli ine.
Son of man,
We mwana wa muntu.
now dig in the wall.
Kabili imba mufi muchibumba.
And when I digged in the wall,
Ero nani mbile muchibumba.
behold the door.
Ibu moneni ichibi.
Then said he unto me,
Ero atire na kuli ine.
Son of man,
We mwana wa
hast thou
muntu.
not seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark?
Na umona efi abakalamba bakale aba mu Israel bachita mumfifi.
Every man in the chambers of his imagery?
Kila muntu ali mukalumu kakwe.
For they say,
Bantu
the
bareti.
Lord sees us not.
Ati lesa atale
The
tumona.
Lord has forsaken the earth.
Lesa nashe chalo.
The ancient men will indicate the leaders of present Israel.
Bantu ababagayindi ba mu Israeli jamba basololi ba Israeli asunu ejo kiri chikombero ja sabata.
Shepherd's Road, Volume 1, page 37.
Shepherds Road volume 1 agubala 37
Paragraph 1.
paragraph 1.
When then was this purification of the church?
Nomba nini ilali elo kukava ukukusangulula nangulo kuwanya kwa chilongani.
Ezekiel 8 tells us of the abominations done in the midst of Jerusalem, the church.
Ezekiel chapter 8 ile tuweba ifya muselu ifile chitika pakati ka Jerusalemu ichilongani no.
So what we are seeing in Ezekiel 8,
Ifyo tulemona muri Ezekiel 8
verse 14, women crying for Tammuz,
mu verse 14 abana kashukulira itamuzi kwa na obakwatama.
and the 25 men
Ero na abantu abaume abali 25
hidden in a chamber which Ezekiel had to break a wall to see what they are doing.
n'abafisama mu malumu yabo emo Ezekiel ayebera okweba ati atobe
Belongs to the SDA church.
ifi tulelanda pofilelandwa fi chilonganiro chesu cha.
And we wonder who these 25 men are.
Nomba tatuishi bya 25 abaume nga diwani.
In 1901,
mu 1901
the bylaw of the church was saying,
amafunde ya chilonganiro yaleti
and the committee of this conference shall be 25 in number.
ati uku abakalatungulula iyi conference bakaba 25 mumpendwa.
So the 25 men therefore refer to the general conference.
Kwe mukutira kanshi iyi namba 25 ilelanda kuli ba general conference.
Ezekiel 8 is telling us that they will join in this making of pieces.
Ero batwambira kutalo general conference iyamunjira abalo bani kupangako tupanzi kutegwa tunke ko ukotwali kwamba.
Signs of the times you can write. I am not going to read everything here.
Ama signs yashita.
Signs of the times, February 19, 1894, paragraph 4.
Paragraph 4.
We are told here that Protestants are not actually waiting for the papacy to come to them.
Ababa ataruka kuli popo balero lelo kwe bati papasi ese kuli yena kuli bena.
It is them who are going there.
Tabalero lelo kwe bati papa ese kuli yena kuli bena. Nebena eba leko mkapapasi na kule mpepele yako.
Why should they go back there?
Nomba nishi balebo lela kuli yeko bafu.
Have they seen any change?
Uchena babono kwe bati kuli ukuku pepa kwa chiloma kuli ukuchinja.
No change.
Takuli ukuchinja.
That's what sign of the time is saying. Then the last sentence I read it. It is a backsliding church that lessens its distance between itself and the papacy.
Ichilonganino abakwenda obwafyapa chilonganino chiwerere kunuma echalenga okola tu ubwererano mabwa chilonganino bamba okuleta nombe mpepere ya chikatolika mu chilonganino.
Okay, maybe we are wondering
tule papa
whether what they tell us at church that they don't belong to any of these organizations is true.
Tubone vyefu batuweba chilonganino ati awo taba bako kuli vyonse fifilonganino vyechishika.
Let me recall to you some important meetings which are happening in the time.
Lekeni tufwe ukubungana kumo ukulechitika mufifi
which are not publicly announced.
Ifi eto tabalelanda abalanda ko kanifi.
In 2014
in
Asia, all the church leaders met to sign a memorandum of understanding.
Bonse tungurushisha chilonganino bali kumana nokusaina iyi memorandum of understanding ukufana ivyo balabomba.
Some of you have that video.
Bambimwe na mukwatana ka video
where every church was represented,
uko ifilonganino fyonse vyali kweto mwimilishi,
including Buddhism, Islam, Judaism. They were all there.
Buddhism, Islam, bonse fyena bena Kristo bonse ko bali kudya.
But in that video you don't see the SDA church.
Lero muri ya video tamwakasange mu SDA church.
But does that make it clean?
Hena jamba kuti chikombero Yesu jalo jinasalala.
That was 2014.
Mu mwaka wa 2014.
2015.
Mu 2015.
A year later,
wakaindabo mwaka omwe.
See the Lutherans actually declaring publicly that we have ended the work of Protestant Reformation.
Malutharanzi bakanyamuka nthangalala akwamba kuti okuya kuzwangana kubali kuzwangana mipaliro yabaloma twachileko ono kokuti aba bantu tagumbe nzuma.
I think it was not a private meeting, it was so public.
Alo tati wakali kuswangana kwa kuyubayuba wakali wa nthangalala.
They celebrated the end, the Roman Catholic Church celebrated the end of Reformation, which has been there for 500 years.
Pona abagatolika balo bagakomana kambwejo jakaliko kwinda kumyaka 500 ono chamana.
A year later,
wakaindabo mwaka omwe
2016,
mu 2016
at Vatican, the church leaders again met
bakaswangana basololi bahikombero
to sign the memorandum of understanding of working together with the Vatican.
Bakasaina kuti gababerekera nto omwe ako Vatican.
Was the SDA church represented in that meeting?
Hena ba SDA bakaliko?
Yes.
Bakaliko.
The union president of Italy is the one who signed on behalf of the General Conference.
mupati waku Italy na union wa mwezi PA waku Italy kona kuyango wakasayina muchipanga cha Nsabata.
And Dr. Diop, the director of religious liberty of Seventh-day Adventist, was there in that meeting.
Ero kabili no yu doctor yu umukalamba wa chilonganino intungrushi kalamba chabu chilonganino cha SPA cholesha pamipepele.
While that document was being signed that side,
Nangula achiliye chipepa wale sayina kulya.
the president of the General Conference was in Africa trying to promote the three angels' messages.
Lero kabili Ted Wilson bena palili anshita shile muno mu Africa okwisa mukwimya ukweba tikube ukushimikira kwa ba malaika aba batatu.
What an irony.
Ili nomba kwati chela.
When I see that, the irony.
Wote chintu cha kupapusha.
Okay, so it was just funny. It was funny to see that while that thing was happening that side, here a promotion of the three angels' message was going on.
Chali cha kusekesha na ngule chale mfisha bwino kuli abale sayina ero kulona ko kuli bale tika promote kushimikira ba malaika batatu.
Lastly, we just want to see the church is going to be given this political power. I'm just jumping some of the parts. I've sent this lesson to many groups. You share. Don't worry if we don't read everything.
Ekisambiriro mukwaina kituma ku mabuku yonse mumone fye ntungulusheko tufumine n'abatuma.
What happens when the church is given political power?
Nga vinshi fitikanga chako bati chilonganino echo bapela amaka yakuteka ekyalo.
Whenever the church has obtained secular power,
Nga chako bati chilonganino byonse byelwe chilonganino kyasenda amaka ya mkyalo.
reading Great Controversy 443 to 445.
Balebere nga Great Controversy 443 to 445.
She has employed it to punish dissent from her doctrines.
Mukutira nomba chilonganino nga chajoina ma politics nomba na doctrine nanguleli pepele filefa bashike fya kukonka pako pepa.
It was apostasy that led the early church to seek the aid of the civil government.
Ni kupepa kwa tulubi ukwalengele chilongano chakubalirapo ukweba tubaye balombe amago kufuma kuchalo.
This prepared for the way of the development of the papacy.
Ichimulandu waku chitecho ekyalengera okweba ati nomba okupepa kwa mukatolika kwingire mu chilonganino.
So look at this now. So
Icho
apostasy in the church,
ukupepa otulubi mu chilonganino
that is today now.
ilelo
It's a comparison.
bale pashanya.
So apostasy in the church will prepare the way for the image of the beast.
Muchisanguka mu chilonganino walalenga okweba ati bupekanye ukwisa kwa kupepa kwa chiswango.
So just as the early Christian church lowered the standard,
Bona kuli baba Kristo bakusanguna no bagabika standard ya bona Kristo asi
it went into the eclipse of the dark ages.
bagachila mu chindi chishiya na aja dark ages.
So
Kobuti
apostasy in the church today,
ibuzanga mu chikombero na kupayira mituni mu chikombero.
and the church mentioned here, it cannot be these churches that have gone back to the north country.
Tachili chikombero echi chakaunkhala kunyiga pepe.
It must be the church that is still remaining poking the wound,
Abo chikombero echo chachala chichidongola chilonda.
which means it must be the Seventh-day Adventist church.
Chikombero changwa awa chikombero cha Nsabata kotwazwa.
So apostasy in the SDA church will prepare for the image of the beast.
So buzangina kutapayira kwera naleza mbwayanda mu chikombero cha Nsabata chipamuti ikupayira wachinyama kubole.
So the wickedness in the church will prepare the world to form the image of the beast,
So
because there won't be any opposition.
Ubunake bwa mu chilonganino bulelenga okweba tilulembo lwa chisawango lwise pambi chilonganino mba nachinaka.
What should we do?
Nga ife nomba tuchiteshana.
Law.
Modern.
Reading time, greeting volume 1, number 51.
baleberenga timely greeting
Volume 1, number 51,
volume 1 number 51
page 12 to 13.
page papa kuverenga pa 12 kufika ku 13.
Lo, the world is already headed for the time of trouble.
Ichalo chena na chipe kanyakale okuya ku chikunshita ya
And
machushi
when it is reached,
lero nga yafikeyo nshita
refugee will be found only in an up-to-date truth.
ukupusukashe kukasangwa mukuba kumbira ya palino nshita
Truth that put one's name in Michael's book of life.
ichishinka ekyo ekirerenga okwebati abo abasumire ekihinka mukinena mukishinka babikwe eshina lyabo mwibuku lyamwewo.
We should not fear their fear.
Tatwerere kuyowa kyo bayowa.
Our fear should be to make sure that our name is in the book of life.
Kuyowa bwesu bwerere kuba kwa kutima hina esu alembwa mu buku ilya bumi.
Therefore, look at this.
Amulanganya lijeshi
1 TG number 21, page 5.
1 TG 21 page 5.
Though God's servants be awake and do their work right,
Nangulaba bomfi bakwalesa bali abashirimuka n'okukita omulimo wabo muli munshire isoma.
yet some of the members may fail to put on the wedding garment.
Lelo bamu pakati k'ababe n'abantu bakwalesa bakafiwa okubikapo ekyakufwala ekyakuyingirira po
A
munganda
garment, you know, is something to put on the outside of the body.
ikyakufwala namwishiba nikire ekyakubika panse ya mubiri.
The garment, therefore, denotes a daily Christ-like deportment.
Kabiri iki kyakufwala kireranga foko bati bafire bareranga obwina Kristo munshi kushabo
The
shose.
righteousness of Christ in one's daily life.
Obulungami bwa Yesu bufire bulemoneka muri umona umo mubumi bwakwe.
The fact that the man in the parable was speechless
Ekikinga kyakuti uli omuntu muri uli omulumbe takweta amashu yakulanda.
when asked phrase,
Ero bamwikwishe kibusa.
how comest thou Caesar not having a wedding garment?
Waisa shani muno okwabula ekyakufwala kyakwingirira po
Shows
munganda.
that he was guilty of neglect,
Kireranga fyokwebati oyo ali wasaka alina omulandu wamulekeresha.
not of ignorance.
Takute mulandu okukana
He
ishiba.
was without excuse and he knew it.
Yakweta akabepesho pantu alishibe.
So therefore, our duty right now is to put on the wedding garment.
Kokuti mulimo wesusundu kusama chisanije kitika tuzumihe kunjira munganda ya winga.
Our safety is in up-to-date truth.
Kokuti swebo kuti tuhutuke twere kuba mukasimpe ikasuno.
And we close our ears and our eyes to the events that are taking place in the world.
Twere kujala matresu amesesu kuli hichitika yonse munyika se cho twere kuberekeha kulembwa mu buku ilya bumi.
And sigh and cry the louder.
Twere kunikulila akutongela maningi kwinda lyonse.
Fish and hunt the more.
Katwiya kuleta abantu banji mu mulumbe waleza.
Born again to bear much fruit of righteousness.
Kute kwa swebo tuba ahilyo yagumuya ihinji.
Purify our souls by obeying the truth.
Ngatubote ha mibiri Yesu kute kwa swebo mukutobera kasimpe.
Unify upon the platform of truth.
Kabilibike ni pamwe vyonse filerengo kweba tichinga chie kuntanshi.
Therefore, brethren, stop wasting time in calculating dates of this or that.
Icho bamunyina nelekeni ukulapenda niishi kukweba tifitu afika panomba uyu mwaka kwala chitike chaisha anga tuombeshe pakulembwa mwibuku lya mwana wa
No
panga.
wasting time on watching our screens on the fulfillment of World War III.
Tulepose shitana tusowaji ndilionze pama Ford mwebo na World War III koili World War III hata kutalika chotwele mwiva chakuti hena mahineso ile mbetwe mwibuku lya mwana wa lezana.
Instead, let us work on our character.
Chakweba tinomba ife tuletamba file nokulapose nshitokulalanda pali file na tuombe pamisango Yesu kweba tibe bwino.
Let us continue studying and praying.
Na tutwalilile ukulabelenga n'okupepa.
Go forward, brothers and sisters.
Kabiye ni kuntanshi bamunyina nenkashi.
Amen.
Amen.
What a good message before the solicitor calls anybody for a song.
Uli chisambiriwe chisuma
we are appealing to the congregation
tulelomba ku bantu abeera bekere mukwayi
for such important messages that we are receiving.
aya masambiriro ayasuma kabira yakankala eyo tulepokerera
We need to engage in season of prayers.
twere kunjira mu kindi kya kupayira.
No one is safe.
kunyina muntu uliwo uli gabotu.
So soon after a message like the one delivered, would be liking if it's ministers to either 2 or 3 to engage, to put the people in prayers right before the congregation.
tulefaayo kweba ati baminisita besu babike abantu mu mapepo babiri nangu batatu baminisita.
Not only that, as we go to our dormitories to go and sleep there,
ilyo tuleya ku madomitalizi yesu kulyo kwakulala.
we engaging too much on talks more than prayers and supplication.
tulelanda sana kulya okukirokola pepa n'okutontonkanya pasya mushiro.
Let's exchange prayer requests and make sure that we engage in 2 seasons of prayer.
na tumona okweba ati twakwata enshitayi apo pepa.
Thank you, thank you.
twatotera mukwaye.
Kingdom Trumpeters, one song.